So I'm standing in front of an HVAC system on a roof of an office building in Southern California, and hopefully you can see in the video that this is really heavily covered in bird droppings. All of the units around me are covered likewise in bird droppings, as you can see here. And we're going to focus on this machine today. We're going to teach you how to use bird barrier cleaning products to thoroughly clean and sanitize this unit so that it is ready to be bird proofed and never look this way again. This is nasty, it doesn't look good, it doesn't smell good, but we're going to solve that here and show you just how to do that. And here we go. So there are an assortment of things you need to have in your cleaning kit to do a thorough professional cleaning job. Some mechanical tools, some chemicals, things like that. So first of all, safety wise, I'm going to put on a respirator or at least a mask to keep some of the dust away from being inhaled. I'm not too worried today on a sunny, windy day outside like this, but if we were inside of an attic or a crawl space with a lot of airborne dust from droppings, you definitely want to have a HEPA filter. You want a better mask than this. This is going to be fine for today. And eye protection as well. And then I'm going to wear a full Tyvek suit. You need some tools. You need a dustpan and brush if you're going to be picking up solid matter. Some scrub brushes to remove and agitate. I've got a plastic scraper, a putty knife to actually remove droppings if they're really stuck on. But the magic of today is going to be our Dissolve It Max and a sprayer. This is a 1 gallon sprayer. It says Semi-Shield on it, which is our bedbug chemical. This is a brand new sprayer, so I'm going to put our new Dissolve It Max is a 3-to-1 mix, so 3 parts water to 1 part of Dissolve It Max. And this is a pint, so I've got 2 pints, which equals a quart, and that's 1/4 of a gallon. So I'm going to pour both of these into this sprayer and fill it up the rest of the way with water, and I will have the correct mixture of the Dissolve It Max. I'm going to, of course, wear gloves. And then lastly, I'm going to apply a bleach water mixture with this sprayer to the top as a final disinfecting step before we're ready to start applying the bird control product. So I'm going to get my protective suit on now, and we're going to get to work on this machine. Okay, so before you start working, you have to really assess, am I dealing with large volumes of dry droppings, moist? What are they before you can start? And what I'm seeing here is mostly dry, some moist over here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this down with some Dissolve It first and let it soak. And then I'm also going to do some scraping with the plastic putty knife to try and loosen some of the thick stuff while the Dissolve It is doing its work. It's also really hot out today and sunny, so the Dissolve It is also going to be evaporating. So I'm going to have to continue to reapply it. You want it to sit for 20 minutes, but with this sun, I'm going to have to apply it probably 4 or 5 minutes so it stays wet the whole time. Okay, I'm going to get to work mixing up the Dissolve It. All right, I got a 1 gallon canister here and 2 pints of Dissolve It. So I'm just going to pour these in. So we're going to fill it to the 1 gallon mark, which is right here. Okay, so now I'm just going to pump it. I need to get some air pressure in here. Shouldn't take much because it's full. And there you can see we got it coming out the end. And I'm going to spray. I'm going to come on this side because it's windy. So now I'm just going to get it wet. The goal is to get it wet and let it start soaking in. Part of the magic is removing the scent so the birds can remember the smell of their own site and they're attracted back to it. So by removing that with the Dissolve It and the bleach, one less reason for the birds to want to go back to a particular unit. So now the main tools that I'm going to use to test this with is the scraper and the brush. So the scraper looks like it's going to work pretty well. And I'm using plastic so I don't scratch the equipment. Of course, this will never look brand new again. There's always going to be some markings on here because the bird droppings are acidic and they actually damage paint. And so there'll be some etching into this paint for a long time. So there's a good amount of droppings that we're not going to be dumping on the roof. So we're going to let it sit. We'll come back and visit with you in a few minutes. Okay, so I'm going to do a little test cleanup, see if it's the dissolvent's done its work. Get this side of the unit here. And you can see that's pretty clean. All right, so now we're going to rinse off the top. So this is pretty common. You see these white stains here. You can still get them a little better. You can reapply dissolvent if you want, or scrape them or scrub them. But essentially the waste has been removed. There's just sort of a little bit of residue left. The last step before we bird proof is to open up our little bleach pod here. So this is about an ounce of bleach powder. So I've poured that in. I'm going to put the little baggie in my pocket. Never want to litter on the roofs of these buildings. So just want to fill this bottle all the way up to about here. Okay, now I'm going to stand on the upwind side so I don't have the spray coming back at me. And here's the mission. Just get everything misted, wet, moist, damp. So the bleach is going to do one last step of deodorizing and sanitizing, and it's a really important step, especially with optical gel. If you're going to use optical gel, you definitely want to remove all the biological traces of the birds that used to be there. All right, that's all you got to do. We'll give that a few minutes to dry, and then we're going to bird proof this guy. Okay. And now you just sort of bend them down a little bit at the base, adjusting back and forth. With larger birds like gulls, you do want them a little higher than for pigeons, so about like that. Okay, so there's one in place. We're going to do the same thing, get the other one on there, and this unit will be bird proofed.